Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take that stack of sources you've got, pull out the key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to getting up to speed.
Exactly. And today we're diving into some really interesting material, focusing on health remedies and approaches from the Edgar Cayce readings.
That's right. The sources we have are full of descriptions, how these remedies are made, how they're supposed to be used, and even some stories about the results people apparently got.
Yeah, and we should probably mention the language in the original readings. Well, it can be a little dated, some terms might not mean exactly what we think they mean today. The source material points this out too.
Good point. And just to be absolutely clear right at the start, everything we talk about today comes only from the specific source material provided. This isn't medical advice.
Definitely not. The source itself stresses that this information isn't meant for diagnosing yourself or treating yourself. Any real medical problems need professional medical help. Full stop.
So our job today is to kind of walk you through this stuff. We'll unpack these, let's say, unique approaches, point out some surprising details, and try to understand what they were aiming for, all based only on what's in these readings.
Sounds like a plan. Where should we start? Maybe the overall philosophy described?
Yeah, let's do that. The source describes Cayce's approach as holistic. It sees the body, not just as parts, but as a whole system, all connected.
And a really central idea seems to be that the body can renew itself. Constantly. It's always working to rebuild.
That's fascinating, isn't it? This idea that the body is inherently dynamic, always renewing.
It really is. And it feels like a lot of these remedies we're going to look at are designed to sort of support that natural ability rather than just attack a symptom head on.
Okay, that makes sense as a foundation. So let's dig into some specific examples from the source. How about starting with something simple, like external stuff? Salt and apple cider vinegar for joints.
Right. The source mentions two main ways to do this. You can dampen regular salt with apple cider vinegar and just rub that paste onto the painful joint.
Okay.
Or you soak a cloth in the vinegar first, then sprinkle salt on the cloth and apply that like a pack.
And then there's a follow-up step right after the pack comes on.
Yes. Bathe the area with a weak baking soda and water mix. The source says about a teaspoon of soda per cup of warm water.
And then a grain alcohol rub. Why the alcohol?
The source suggests it helps close the pores and prevents congestion after the treatment. There are some interesting accounts, too. Well, there's a Mrs. 1100 mentioned who had the severe back catches. The source says the vinegar and salt stoops almost completely cleared them up. She apparently got hives at first before using the soda water rinse, which she thought was from absorbing too much vinegar.
Ah, so the soda water neutralized it.
Seems like it, yeah. Or milk of magnesia worked, too, the source says. And there's another story about Mrs. Ann Milano's daughter. Her sprained hand hadn't healed in a year, but apparently regained mobility after just one application.
Wow, just one. After a whole year. That's quite a claim in the source material.
Ugh.
Okay, let's shift gears from external to internal. The apple diet. Now, diet here isn't like Atkins or keto.
No. The source is pretty clear that diet in the readings often means like a detox or a cleanse, not necessarily weight loss.
And this one is intense.
It is. Eating only raw apples.
Sure.
For 3 straight days.
Just apples, 72 hours. That would definitely be a cleanse.
And then, after the last apples on the 3rd day, you take olive oil. The source mentions half a cup in one case.
Half a cup. Okay. And the list of conditions the source says this is for, it's huge. Acidity, arthritis, headaches, constipation, even epilepsy, nervous system issues. It sounds like a total system reset.
It does seem aimed that way. But the source also gives some important warnings. Check with a doctor first, always. It's not for everyone. Some people might get headaches or cramps.
And you have to stick to it exactly.
Exactly. Raw apples, only 3 days, then the olive oil. And if you've had liver or gallbladder problems, the source says use just a minimal amount of olive oil.
Okay.
And this is a big one. The source specifically says do not use castor oil packs while you're doing the apple diet. Don't mix them.
Interesting. So even within this system, there are interactions to watch out for.
Yeah.
Like that woman with epilepsy, the source mentions using it just occasionally for cleansing.
Right. Okay, next up in the source, etomidine, atomic iodine.
Sounds powerful.
The source describes it as a gland purifier and cleanser. It uses this analogy like most glands function as machinery would under oil, the iodine being the oil for the glands. See, it particularly mentions thyroid, thymus, adrenals.
So taken internally, the source says it's a curative and preventative for pretty much any form of disorder in glands or tissue of body.
Yeah, the indications listed include iodine deficiency, naturally, but also GI issues, low energy, high blood pressure, and it acts as a diuretic. Supposedly works whether the system is acid or alkaline.
And how should it be used, according to the source?
Small amounts internally and only when needed for glandular activity or hormone balance. Not necessarily something you take all the time. It can also be used as a spray, apparently.
I remember that quote from the source about giving stimulation and then refraining so the body can produce things itself. It fits that core idea again.
It really does. Now, beef juice. This one shows up a lot in the source material, over 400 readings, described as bodybuilding and blood building.
But the source is very clear. It's not beef broth or extract, right?
Absolutely not. It's a specially prepared juice extracted using heat.
And indicated for things like weakness, recovery after surgery, anemia, low stamina, building people up, basically.
Exactly. Building resistance, helping gain weight. The prep is specific too. Lean beef, round steak, neck, rump diced small, no fat or tendons. You put the diced meat in a covered glass jar. Then you put that jar inside a pan of water, like a double boiler, and heat it gently. The heat draws the juice out.
So it's extracting the essence without, like, heavy cooking. And you drink it how?
Small sips several times a day. Frequency and amount vary in the readings. Can be warm or cool. Maybe add a tiny bit of salt or dilute it slightly with boiled water for taste.
And sometimes followed by other things.
Yeah, the source mentions maybe a little red wine afterwards, like ½ ounce to 2 ounces light wine. Or certain crackers, rye crisp, graham crackers, which the source says have little starch but are good for weight and cleansing. Or fruit like peaches or pineapple.
The source also makes a point about small, frequent doses being better, like with vegetable juices, too.
Right. It's presented as really easily assimilated food, especially for people who are weak or on liquid diets, to help them get strength back. Extra energy.
Makes sense. Okay, let's go back to external applications, maybe the most famous one, castor oil packs.
Yes. Mentioned constantly. Over 500 cases in the source material, always as an external thing. And that famous advice the source quotes, when in doubt, use castor oil.
But specifically the pack applied externally, not taken internally as a laxative in this context.
Correct. And the source claims it has something like 30 physiological effects and was recommended for over 50 different ailments: digestion, elimination, inflammation, liver, gallbladder issues, tumors, cysts. The list goes on. Also for local massage on warts or moles.
Are there times you shouldn't use it, according to the source?
Yes, definite contraindications. No heat with unexplained abdominal pain. No heat on the abdomen during pregnancy or if there's excessive gas. And avoid packs during menstrual flow.
Got it. So how do you make one based on the source description?
You need wool flannel, folded over 2 to 4 times, big enough for the area you're treating. Then you heat the castor oil first.
Why heat the oil?
The source says heating it breaks the atomic forces, making it penetrate better, and it opens skin pores. You dip the flannel in the hot oil, then apply it as hot as you can comfortably stand.
And keep it hot.
Yeah, keep it hot. An electric heating pad is often suggested, but put plastic between the pack and the pad.
And while it's on, the source recommends quiet time.
About an hour, yeah. Quiet prayer, meditation, reading. Then you take it off.
And then the soda water rinse again.
Exactly. Sponge the area with that weak baking soda and warm water solution. The source says it removes oily residue and accumulations and creates an alkaline reaction to counter the oil's acidity.
There's also something about taking olive oil after a series of packs.
Right, but usually not on the same day as a pack. It's taken after the last pack in a course of treatment. The amount varies. It's seen as both food and an eliminant, helping bile flow. But again, the source cautions minimal amounts if there's a history of liver or gallbladder trouble.
Practical tips too, like storing the pack.
Yeah, store it in glass or heavy plastic, keep it cool. You can reuse it by adding more fresh oil each time, but toss it if it smells rancid or gets soiled. The source really positions these packs as aiding organ elimination better than taking cathartics internally for keeping the bowels clear.
Okay, now for something really different from the source, the apple brandy fume inhalant.
Oh yeah, that one's definitely out there. And the source is super emphatic. Do not drink the brandy, just inhale the fumes.
How is it set up? Something about a keg.
A charred oak keg, yeah. The charring acts like activated charcoal, the source explains, absorbing impurities, like in commercial liquor aging.
So you put brandy in the keg, half a gallon keg is mentioned.
Right. And you need some space above the liquid for the fumes or gas to form. Then you set up an inhalation tube, maybe through a vent hole position just above the liquid level.
And you just breathe in the fumes.
That's the idea. The source says it acts as a purifier for the throat, bronchi, lungs, and stimulates circulation. Calls it carrying healing properties.
But there's a catch.
Yeah, be careful not to inhale too much, especially at first, or it can apparently cause intoxication. Frequency mentioned is maybe once or twice a day. Directions are mentioned for specific lung or bronchial issues.
Definitely unusual. Okay, another external one, the coffee foot bath.
Yeah.
Using used coffee grounds.
Yep. Used grounds. The source says collect them fairly fresh, boil them the amount of grounds, and water varies a lot in the readings, as does the boiling time, anywhere from 2 to 30 minutes.
To let it cool.
To a warm temperature, yeah. Not hot, not tepid. Pour the solution, with or without the grounds, into a foot tub.
And soak your feet and lower legs.
Up to the knees, yeah, for 5 to 20 minutes. And massage the feet and legs while they're soaking.
What's it supposed to do?
Enhance circulation, relieve colds or congestion, improve how the feet function. The source makes a point of contrasting this beneficial external use with drinking coffee, warning that the tannic acid internally can hinder nutrient absorption and cause digestive problems.
Interesting distinction. The source also talks about hot and cold applications more generally, doesn't it? Yeah. For injuries like sprains, strains, aching backs.
Rad general principle. For soft tissue injuries, the rule is immediate application is ice or cold.
Why cold first?
The source says it reduces swelling and pain, restricts blood flow, slows down the inflammatory response, slows nerve signals. If the area feels warm or inflamed, use cold. If you're not sure, use cold.
How long for the cold?
Shorter than heat, no more than 20 minutes at a time. Elevate the area too, maybe use a bandage.
And heat comes later.
Yes, after the initial swelling goes down. The source suggests maybe 48 to 72 hours after the injury, after you've used cold. Heat stimulates blood flow, loosens things up, helps get back full motion. It's better once the risk of more swelling or bleeding is lower. Use heat if the area feels cool.
The source also mentions wet heat sometimes.
Yeah, like using heavy towels wrung out of hot water, covered to keep the heat in, specifically to relax an area before a spinal correction or adjustment.
So standard rice principles, essentially, but explained through the lens of the readings, cold first, heat later.
Pretty much, yeah. The underlying rationale might be described differently, but the practice is similar.
Okay, the sources also mentions some devices, the electric vibrator.
Yeah, a handheld thing. Shows up in over 270 readings. General uses listed are easing tense muscles, increasing circulation, helping with sleep. Had different attachments too, like sponge or cup types.
And often used with massage.
As an adjunct, yeah, or with spinal manipulations. Applied directly on the skin, not over clothes. Indications mentioned range from heavy legs or trembling to using it before or after massage, relaxing before sleep, especially over the spine, neck, shoulders, and even improving eyesight by affecting circulation related to the upper spine nerves. Frequency varied a lot.
Okay. Another substance mentioned a ton is Epsom salts.
Over 800 times in the source. Identified as hydrated magnesium sulfate, a natural mineral.
And used in lots of ways.
Baths mostly, but also packs, fume baths, sitz baths, and sometimes internally as a laxative. But the source is very cautious about internal use, says too much can cause harmful overalkalinity, and recommends professional supervision.
Tell us about the baths.
Often used with massage or other treatments. You need enough water to cover you, and a lot of salt examples range from 3 to 5 pounds in 20 gallons up to 10-15 pounds in 40 gallons.
Wow. And the process.
Start the water a bit above body temp, gradually add warmer water, stay in 20 minutes to an hour, and drink plenty of cold water while you're soaking.
And afterwards?
A good rub down, not just drying off, but really rubbing the body, especially limbs and lower back. Use a mix of equal parts pure grain alcohol and olive oil shaken together, or olive oil and peanut oil. Massage it in well for stimulation and absorption, then rest.
Testimonials mentioned arthritis help from baths, and packs helping someone whose stomach reacted badly to capsules.
Right, and the Epsom salts pack itself has its own prep. Dissolve about 1 pound of salts in hot water to make a saturated solution. Soak a towel, wring it out.
Apply the wet towel, cover it. Heating pad? Okay.
Yes, optional, with a plastic barrier between the pack and pad. Protect the sheets too. Indications listed in the source include rheumatoid issues, anemia, weakness, elimination problems, general painful areas, contraindications, severe inflammation, heat sensitivity, numbness, open wounds.
And that testimonial about the 55-year-old woman finding immediate help is notable.
Then there's the head and neck exercise. Simple, no substances.
What's it for, according to the source?
Lots of things. Spinal subluxations, ear and eye problems, nasal issues, nerve pain in the arm, brachial neuralgia, hemorrhoids, strengthening foot arches, vertigo, even just being overtired. Often taught before meditation, though the readings don't explicitly state that purpose.
Okay, how do you do it?
Sit upright. Slow, easy movements, mindful breathing. First, bend your head forward, chin to chest 3 times. Then backward, looking up 3 times.
Simple enough.
Then bend head to the right, ear toward shoulder 3 times, then left 3 times. Finally, full rotations. Chin to chest, circle clockwise 3 times, then chin to chest, circle counterclockwise 3 times.
The source mentions slight variations sometimes, but that's the basic routine.
Right. Done morning and evening just takes a minute or 3.
Expected effects.
Might feel dizzy at first. Changes in hearing may be inconvenient initially, then helpful. Benefits eyes, ears, nose, taste, and the whole system.
Those testimonials are striking: a chiropractor getting 100% results for brachial neuralgia, and Mrs. Harrison ditching her glasses after 27 years using it for eyesight.
Definitely powerful accounts in the source material. Now, glycothymoline, that's a specific product name.
Yeah, the source identifies it as trademarked with natural ingredients: eucalyptol, menthol, pine oil, thymol, wintergreen. Originally from mucosity, now labeled as a mouthwash. The source even notes its red color comes from carmine beetles, not red, #40col.
Interesting detail, indications listed.
Sinusitis cold, very effective. Digestive upset, sunburn, dandruff, and halitosis, bad breath, which the source links to needing intestinal cleansing.
How is it used?
Packs over the face neck for cold sinus, the source says it will take it right out. Or packs over the abdomen for digestion, sometimes use full strength. Internally, too.
Yes, but cautiously. 2 to 4 drops in water, maybe twice a day, until you notice an odor change in stool, indicating purification. The source stresses internal use only under professional guidance because it's alkaline.
Okay. And for sunburn, it's an option. For dandruff, a scalp tonic, noting its alkaline nature. For bad breath, a few drops in water internally as an intestinal antiseptic. Also mentioned in compresses, throat sprays, douches. Versatile stuff, apparently.
Moving on to grapes, grape juice and the grape diet.
For weight control, the source mentions diluted grape juice.
Right, 3 ounces juice to 1 ounce water. Take it half an hour before meals and before bed. Also cut back on sweets and starches, eat more fresh veggies.
Why grape juice for weight, according to the source?
It suggests the sugar in grapes reacts differently in the digestive system, helps reduce overall excess sugar, controls cravings, and gradually changes your appetite.
But it's not a magic bullet.
No, the source is clear it needs to be part of a bigger picture. Osteopathic adjustments, colonics, steam baths, exercise, good nutrition are all mentioned as important too.
So an aid within a program. And then there's the grape mono diet.
Yes. Eating only raw grapes, usually conquered, or purple grapes with seeds are preferred, though seedless sometimes appear for 3 or 4 days straight.
Sometimes combined with other things.
Yeah, sometimes with a grape poultice over the abdomen. Milk was occasionally added too. The source even recalls Cayce himself saying, when awake, that grapes are one of the best healing foods for intestinal problems.
And that grape poultice applied to the abdomen for bowel issues.
Exactly. You crush the grapes again, seeds preferred for the tartaric acid reaction, the source says, and put the pulp between thin cloths.
Apply it cool.
Yes, cool. Over the abdomen, up towards the stomach, sometimes over the breast area for tumors. Thickness varies a lot, 1/4 inch to 4 inches.
How long does it stay on?
Also varies wildly, until it gets warm, until it's almost dry, anywhere from 1 to 12 hours, sometimes changing it every hour or 2. Keep it up until the condition eases. It's meant to help with nausea and irritations.
Okay. Another food is medicine juice. Liver juice.
Right, like the beef juice or onion juice reinforces that idea. Shows up in about 60 readings, though only 9 specifically call for the juice. Others mention chopped or broiled liver.
Main indications.
Low hemoglobin, a blood builder, and pernicious anemia is listed as a primary one. And again, the source stresses tiny amounts, sipped slowly, all that the body can assimilate, not to make it obnoxious. Examples are like 2 tablespoons total per day, sipped half a teaspoon at a time, or 1 tablespoon total, sipped 1 teaspoon at a time, taking a whole minute to swallow each teaspoon.
Wow, very deliberate consumption.
Now, massage.
Yeah.
Hugely important in the readings, mentioned over 800 times, often paired with baths, colonics, packs.
And the source describes a specific technique, the Cayce-Riley massage.
Developed by Dr. Harold Riley, a physiotherapist who worked with Cayce. It blends Swedish, Iselin, and neuropathic styles. Focuses on the nervous system, lymph drainage, circulation, has special moves based on the readings in Riley's work.
Anything unique about it?
Starting with the left arm is mentioned. The source says this enhances flow because the left is the body's receptive side, the heart side, helps relax the client faster. Movements are gentle, slow, fluid, aiming to balance the whole body field.
Benefits are typical massage benefits: relaxation, stress reduction, better attitude, supporting healing. There's a testimonial about daily massage clearing up edema.
Yeah, using a specific kneading technique Riley mentioned. The source also gives that practical advice. Don't travel so far for a massage that the trip stresses you out more than the massage helps.
Spinal massage patterns are also mentioned.
Yes, often starting at the base of the brain, going down the right side, then the left. Said to stimulate circulation and affect the autonomic nervous system.
And the oils used.
Peanut oil is recommended most often alone or combined. Olive oil is common too. Mixes like olive oil and myrrh. The source notes peanut oil does not become rancid on the skin.
Okay, let's talk mulem. The Mullen's tube. That's an external compress.
Right, using fresh mullein leaves. Indicated especially for varicose veins, but also leg swelling, edema, asthma, liver gall duct issues, kidney irritation.
As made.
Bruise fresh green mullein leaves if possible. Put them in lukewarm water. Heat it slowly, almost to boiling. Let it sit off the heat until cool enough to handle. Don't wring it out too dry.
Then apply it.
Put the moist mullein between thin cotton layers. Place it on the body liver area, kidney area from the back, legs. Make it thick, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Cover with more cotton than heavy towels to keep the heat in. Heating pad is optional, with plastic barrier.
How long?
20-30 minutes, up to an hour, depending on relief. Change as needed. Afterwards, some readings suggested cleaning the area, maybe with an acid antiseptic or even a weak bichloride solution, followed by Cuticure ointment.
Melanin is also used internally as a tea.
Yeah, drawing on its folk medicine history for respiratory things. Preparation is just steeping the leaves, flowers, or seeds in boiling water.
And the tea is indicated for
Circulation issues, blood and lymph, dizziness, hives, intestinal inflammation, kidney stones, and again, varicose veins.
Interesting how it's used both inside and out for the same thing, like varicose veins. Frequency for the tea varies.
Then there's myrrh, shows up a lot, nearly 400 times, usually as tincture of myrrh in alcohol solution.
Most common use.
External massage formula, often equal parts with olive oil, sometimes other oils like sassafras added.
Other uses mentioned.
Ingredient in tonics, pellets, inhalants, lotions, douches, sitz baths, even used to clean eye residue after a potato poultice, or added to steam baths.
Indications listed in the source include pelvic issues, cysts, cramping, generally for nervous irritation, assimilation-elimination problems when used in rubs.
And the source describes a wide range of effects: helps circulation, relieves tension, stimulates glands, strengthens muscles and capillaries, balances nerve tension, aids digestion, helps respiration, prevents soreness. Quite a list.
Testimonials mention relief from nervous irritation with olive oil myrrh rubs, and those surprising results for epilepsy after a skull fracture using spinal massage with it.
Olive oil itself gets its own focus. Multiple uses in the readings.
Right. Orally as a laxative, food eliminant, helping bile flow. Impacts as food for skin and tissue, as a massage lubricant. And enemas, even in shampoo.
Indications for internal use include acidity, constipation, poor digestion. For massage, low energy, dry skin, hearing issues, movement problems, itchy scalp, toxemia. For packs, colds, fever, colitis, relaxation before adjustments. Fume bath use for toxemia too.
And that caution again for internal use with liver gallbladder history, minimum amount.
Right. For internal laxative use, the source says take it consistently but periodically, like 2-3 days on, 2-3 days off, small amounts every few hours while on. Don't just take one dose and wait days.
Abdominal massage with olive oil is also recommended.
Yeah, massage across the abdomen, let the body absorb it. Aids eliminations, makes abdominal walls more elastic, prevents adhesions.
Testimonials mention its use in spinal massage, often with myrrh or peanut oil, and for skin-like calluses, and as a shampoo ingredient.
Onion juice, again, another food juices tonic.
Main uses in the source.
Pneumonia called the best thing for it, especially when nausea hits, and pinworms scares them away. For pneumonia, the source specifies it's juice pressed from heated onions, not boiled ones.
And that interesting quote about beauty from foul things, related to the smell, I guess, points to the onion poultice too.
Right. The onion poultice itself is a hot, moist pack of chopped onions on cloth. Source notes onions are related to lilies, contains sulfur compounds, detoxifiers, antibiotics.
Indications?
Colds, chest congestion clears airways, pneumonia boosts circulation in the chest lungs, ear infections. preparation. Chop onions, old ones preferred. Heat gently, don't cook, keeping juice in the poultice. Mix with a bit of oat or cornmeal to help it form. Spread half-inch thick on gauze.
Apply it, maybe add heat pad after 10 minutes.
Yeah, for 30 plus minutes to keep it warm. Apply it over chest area or specific spots for ear infections. For pneumonia, kept on an hour at a time, changed every 4 to 5 hours. Keep applying if needed. Clean area afterwards.
Back to massage oils. Peanut oil massage. The most recommended one.
Yes, often called lowly, but very versatile in the readings.
And that famous quote again. Those who would take a peanut oil rub each week need never fear arthritis.
That's the one. Preventing arthritis rheumatism is listed as its main indication. Also paralysis, dermatitis, neuritic pain, stimulating muscle tendons at joints, coordination, rebuilding, can soothe irritation from fume baths used on feet, back, limbs.
And again, noted as not going rancid on the skin, called a food for the body.
Preparation is just pure peanut oil. Source defines pure as unadulterated. Notes peanuts have vitamins, good fats, mentions allergies, but says pure oil is usually okay.
Frequency varies. Application is just massage it in until absorbed. Testimonials mention its use, sometimes with olive oil for epilepsy, calluses, etc.
Okay, eyes now. The potato poultice. Scraped Irish potato over the eyes. Exactly. Indications listed are eye infections, irritation, inflammation, cataracts, eye strain, conjunctivitis.
Crap.
Mature Irish potato, white-skinned baking type, well scrubbed. Importantly, not green, sprouted, or frozen. Free of chemicals. Scrape or grate it.
Apply the scrapings between gauze over closed eyes, filling the sockets, about half-inch thick. Can be done afternoons or evenings.
How long? Varies. 10 minutes up to overnight, maybe 30-40 minutes typically. Keep doing it for weeks or months if needed. It's meant to clear issues, draw impurities, clarify membranes, strengthen optic nerves, relieve strain.
And afterwards, bathe the eyes with weak eye lotion or myrrh.
Yes, to remove inflammation drawn out. Testimonial mentions using it for conjunctivitis and getting relief, even though the root cause was allergy, and that quirky quote about brains and hair not growing well together pops up here too.
Devices again. The Radiaxi appliance, or radioactive appliance, the pyramid-shaped one.
Yeah, dark blue with a red strip often. Contains steel plates, glass, carbon charcoal, 2 terminals on top for wires. Can be used plain or with a solution jar. Mentioned quite a bit.
And the concept is not electrical power from it, but influencing the body's own energy.
Exactly. The source describes it as affecting the body's electrical energy or vibrations using the body's own current. Creates a kind of capacitor, modulates current flow, equalizes vibrations. Source recommends reading up on it first.
Often used preventatively.
Yeah, more often preventative or for general balancing than curative for acute things. Indications include feeling anxious, overtired, taxed, stressed, in pain, needing rest. Also specific things like deafness, poor vision, vertigo.
Expected effects listed.
Improve in equalizing circulation, normalizing nervous system, blood pressure, heart rate, kidney function. Aids relaxation, stress reduction, memory, meditation. Stimulates body-mind integration, attunes atomic vibrations, reduces blood impurities, improves metabolism.
Setup involves wires, electrodes attached to buddy points, maybe that solution jar with gold chloride or iodine.
Right. And the metal discs need cleaning with emery paper before and after use. Wires and discs shouldn't touch each other or other metal during use.
Frequency varies a lot daily, cycles, weekly, monthly. Applied until you feel rested, maybe 15-30 minutes. Testimonial credits it with speeding recovery in a neurological condition by supplying needed vibrations.
Okay, red wine with black bread. A specific mid-afternoon ritual. Yes, described as a small meal around 2000 p.m., maybe an hour before the evening meal.
How's done?
Sit down, relax. Take a small wine glass of red wine amounts, vary, half full to 2.5 ounces. Sip it slowly, as a food, not a drink. Eat it with black or brown bread.
What's the point according to the source?
Stimulating digestion, strengthening effect, blood building, absorbing minerals like copper, iron, silicon from the combo, absorbing poisons rather than causing fermentation. Tones digestion, aids assimilation, builds glandular resistance, strengthens body, laxative effect.
Specifics about the wine.
Tartaric acid in red wine is good. Sour wines are bad. Other light wines, like Sauterne, should be with meals, not separate like this. The sand pack. This one needs a beach, right? Specifically Virginia Beach. Yes, the source mentions Virginia Beach sand having beneficial proportions of gold and radium.
You just lie in the sand.
It's a process. Sand needs to be warm and dry. People called packers prepare an area, gather extra untrampled sand, dig out a spot, level it east-west, make sand pillows for neck knees.
And before the sand.
First, a full dip in the ocean like you are being baptized properly. Source says this is for iodine absorption. Then immediately get covered with the warm, dry sand. Packers start with limbs, then cover the whole body, keeping the face shaded. Done with a caring attitude.
How long?
Until the body feels vibrations, pulsation equalizes. Minimum 15-20 minutes. Afterwards, maybe a fresh bath and spinal rub down or another quick ocean dip. Quiet and reverent atmosphere. Indications listed: chronic ulcerative colitis, general weakness, psoriasis. Testimonials mention better circulation, skin, mental outlook, less nervousness. Using nature therapeutically.
Even regular showers get mentioned therapeutically.
Over 100 times.
Uh-huh.
Often between a bath, Epsom salts, steam, and a massage. Described as using streams of water, different pressures, different temperatures. Hot, cold, heavy, fine spray.
Testimonial about someone struggling with hot-cold showers at first.
Yeah, got sniffles after being used to only cold baths, but eventually it helped your circulation. Staff had to help regulate the temps. Source suggests considering showers therapeutically, ideally after steam fume before massage. Invigorating. Indications: weakness, depression, poor circulation.
Sitz bath. Sitting bath, used quite a bit.
About 90 readings. Can be cold, hot, alternating. Substances like Epsom salts, myrrh, pine oil sometimes added. Dr. Riley's adaptation used 6 to 9 inches of water, sitting with feet elevated on a stool to focus reaction on the pelvis.
Different types based on Riley's summary.
Yeah. Cold, short, stimulating. Prolonged cold, longer, contracts vessels. Hot, shorter, strong effect on exit. Alternating hot-cold cycles, strongest circulation boost.
Indications from the source.
Severe itching, menopausal symptoms, prostatitis, hemorrhoids, cystitis, pelvic disorders, post-surgery adhesions. Robert Corey's testimonial about prostatitis results using cold sitz baths is quite strong.
Steam fume bath, another big one. Over 300 readings. Old method for purification.
Highly recommended. Steam is water. Fume adds something like oil. Can be rigged up at home. Advantage: head stays out, exposed to room air, makes heat more tolerable, allows cold compresses on head to prevent headaches.
Setup. Often a wooden cabinet.
Yeah, like at ARE, handmade cabinets, adjustable seat, deep fryer underneath for steam, controls outside. Client sits inside, head out top, towel around neck.
Additives go in the water.
Usually a few drops floated in a cup on the boiling water. Wintergreen, witch hazel, balsam, etomidine, peanut oil, pine needles, olive oil, camphor. Epsom salts, less common. Ratios vary.
Important safety check.
Pulse rate. Check before, check again 3-5 minutes in. If pulse jumps more than 30 beats above resting, stop. The bath source says it hints at disturbance. Otherwise, stay seated, sip water, use cold compresses on head when sweating starts. Varies hugely, 5 minutes to 30+ minutes. Expected effects: cleanses elimination organs, skin, lungs, kidneys, maintains health, raises surface circulation temp, relaxes body, eliminates poisons via respiration, coordinates surface deep circulation.
So the fumes affect breathing and skin, helping get rid of drosses.
Right, impurities,
Yep.
which are then rubbed off after the bath massage. Testimonial describes a homemade setup providing comfort.
Turpentine pack. Another stoop, using spirits and turpentine.
Indications: kidney stones, kidney bladder issues, enlarged liver spleen, pneumonia, sciatica, spinal meningitis.
Prep.
Add turpentine to very hot water, for example, 1 TSP per quart. Dip cloth, wring out.
Apply hot, moist towel to skin over the area, kidneys, bladder, etc. Rotate gently first to acclimate skin. Cover, maybe use heating pad with barrier.
How long? 10-30 minutes, maybe longer. Big caution though, skin sensitivity or burning means remove it immediately, wash the area.
Testimonials mention it helping pass kidney stones, despite some stomach burning.
Another device, the Violet Ray. Handheld electrical device with bulb applicators. Over 400 readings mention it. Purpose described as stimulating nerve growth, balancing glands, supplying healing electrical vibrations, attuning atomic vibrations, activating organs, boosting white blood cells, equalizing circulation.
Its use depends on the cause of the problem, not just the label.
Right. Applied to spine or affected areas. Usually no oil needed, but source mentions using talc if skin is too moist to prevent burns.
Timing relative to other treatments.
Sometimes after hydrotherapy massage, once body is dry, important precautions. Not on moist skin, not too long in one spot, burn risk. Strict time limits mentioned 2 to 3 minutes is worse than none. Don't use same day as etomidine during adjustments or certain exercises.
Frequency varies, but definitely warnings against overdoing it.
Then super simple, the warm water drink.
Just warm water in the morning.
Yep, glass of warm or hot water first thing on waking, before breakfast. Not too hot, not tepid, maybe a tiny pinch of salt sometimes. Drink at a normal pace.
Effects listed.
Clarifies system of poisons, speeds digestion, quenches thirst, detoxifies, promotes eliminations, acts on kidneys, helps flush out accumulations from overnight rest.
And that quote about the stomach being a medicine chest and pure water helping its reactions.
Right. It's a simple tip scattered throughout, sometimes with no reason given, sometimes specific. Connects to the general advice to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water daily.
Okay, last one. The wet cell appliance. Another device for more serious conditions.
Yes, mentioned over 100 times, often for severe nervous system incoordination or glandular problems. Source says it requires patience and persistence.
Concept is again about vibrations.
Exactly, vibratory theory. Body is electronic vibration. Illness is deficiency or imbalance in this energy. Appliance supposedly supplies needed electrical vibrations, balances glandular nervous systems, attunes atomic vibrations back to normal.
So aimed at correcting fundamental energy issues described in the source. Components.
Glass containers, zinc and copper plates suspended in liquid, distilled water plus salts like cupric sulfate, wires connecting plates to metal discs applied to the body. Often a solution jar used too, with gold chloride, iodine, etc., depending on the reading. Specific setup required.
Indications. Severe stuff mainly.
Primarily severe nervous system glandular incoordination. Epilepsy, MS, paralysis, Parkinson's, vertigo, vitiligo, depression, post-surgery issues, spinal meningitis listed in the source. Expected effects are similar to violet ray nerve growth, gland balance, vibrations, etc.
Setup involves careful wiring, cleaning the discs with emery paper, specific application points based on the reading. Discs shouldn't touch metal.
Frequency varies daily, several times a week or in cycles, like 2 weeks on, 10 days off. Applied for a specific time, often 20-30 minutes. Testimonial again mentions accelerated progress, feeling it supplied needed vibrations.
Wow. Okay, that is quite a tour through the source material. From drinking warm water and doing neck exercises to these complex packs, baths, and intricate devices.
It really covers a huge range. And if you try to connect it all back, like we said at the start, you do see those recurring themes, don't you? Improving circulation, aiding elimination, coordinating the nervous system.
And always that underlying idea from the source supporting the body's own ability to heal, this constant renewal, linked to those electronic vibrations.
Exactly. It brings us right back to that core philosophy described in the readings. This whole deep dive paints a picture of health and healing that's, well, quite distinct.
It really does.
Yes.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe, based on the source material.
Yeah. How does this perspective, this idea from the readings that your body is constantly renewing itself, that it's fundamentally made of electronic vibrations, how might that shift the way you think about health, illness, and the potential for healing?
What possibilities does that vibratory model, as presented in this source material, open up for understanding your body's own capacity?
Something to definitely chew on. That's our deep dive for today.